What is good, everyone? What is good? This is your boy bonthagreat coming to you with another podcast of Pause to Recharge. And I just want to let everybody know that I am glad that I started this podcast because it really brings joy to me, and also it brings joy to the ones that actually listen and partake in adding this to their lives, with being gamers, hardworking people, and also letting the inner child in you thrive. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and get started. So I want to start off with 10 basic facts, and I may throw in some little side facts or whatever the case may be to help all of us, whether we're working, going to school, or just every day trying to get through life, because we all know life can life at some time. So, gaming inspired mental health practices in which all of us need to, you know what I'm saying, apply to our life. Use strategy games to boost problem solving. So when you apply the strategies from certain strategy games or whatnot, you can also apply that to your life or whatnot. These skills in real life challenges, my bad. I'm not even gonna cut that out either, cause I got a show where I have some bloopers. So we're gonna have the bloopers within the show. So when you trying to acquire bigger things in life or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes playing strategy games helps you with real life things, like challenges like with budgeting, scheduling, and or you know what I'm saying, just breaking down how to get to the next phase in real life, not just games, because majority of games we play, well, majority of games I play and a lot of people that is like me play, it's not just go shoot them, beat them up, or whatever the case may be, because there are patterns within games or whatnot. So you have to use a certain strategy to beat certain things. Now, I understand, like, some games you can do a bully rush, but bully rush is not going to work for everything. That's just like with real life. You can't take everything head on as it go. You have to, like, strategize, or even sometimes you have to reach out to get help. AKA, like with the gaming community, there's strategy guides on how to beat things. With life, there is certain books, documents that will inform you or help you. Like with me or whatnot, I have a strategy guide called Logic Design for this electrical engineer class that I have. That, by the way, I am a little bit struggling with, but with that strategy guide, I can also boost my mental state with the knowledge. At least try, you know what I mean? So, try to pack that with you, you know what I'm saying? And maybe that'll help you out. All right, practice emotional regulation through gameplay. Pause, reflect, and rest when frustrated. Just like in tough game levels. So, if anybody know about stressful levels, I know about stressful levels in games, because the majority of games that I play are stressed games, but I enjoy those games just like other people enjoy those games. Not saying being stressed is my comfort zone, but being stressed in certain things in life or whatnot brings out the resilience, the character. That's why I always say dying builds character or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't just beat everything the first try. You know what I'm saying? You can beat some things on your first try, but you can't beat everything on your first try. That's why it's always best to say, I always love the saying, it don't matter how many times you fall as long as you get up. But with that saying, it's also best to learn from your failures or your mistake so you can counter whatever is going on. So by that way, you can build yourself up to become a better person or whatever the case may be. And that's why I love that, because it helps you understand the situation, and it makes you go through uh several stages of emotions. And once you get to that stage of patience and calmness, that's when you're more so likely to succeed. All right. Um so moving on. Just like I just said about the emotional thing, use calming games to relieve your stress or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So if you have to play, like my friend that we're watching right now, Supreme said, he plays Call of Duty, and that's his letting my hair down relaxation game. Even though it can be sweaty at sometimes, but that's what he plays because of the simple fact that that's his calming and relaxing zone or whatnot. So then moving on. Um, so a lot of people do this, but in my opinion, you know what I'm saying, it can work out for you, but sometimes it can hinder you. It depends on the type of people you have within your community. Join supportive gaming communities, Discord, Reddit, etc., to share experiences and reduce isolation. Right? So, well, my opinion with that or whatnot, I have my own Discord, and there's nothing wrong with the Discord, but it just depends on the people that you put within that Discord to help you better understand, you know what I'm saying, the games you're playing or whatever the case may be. And, and sometimes, like I say, it can be very supportive, but at the same time, it can be very toxic. And it depends on the people that you allow within that game space or whatnot. And you know what I'm saying? It's just the fact that if you don't counter it the right way, you're going to have the ones that's just caring about themselves and the ones that just want to post their links in the Discord or whatever the case may be. And that's not good for no one, because you know what I'm saying, because people just don't want you just to throw your link in the Discord because you're trying to come up. Everybody's trying to come up in the gaming community, but at the same time, it takes patience. And once you have that patience and calmness about yourself or whatnot, it'll come. Don't try to force it. Just let it come. Join the Discord so, you know what I'm saying, you can have shared experience. Like, I have a lot of anime, movies, horror, gauntlets. I have a lot of that stuff in there, whatever the case may be. And it's a lot of people that interact with that type of stuff because that's what we like or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, with all that being said, just be courteous with other people in Discords and Reddit, TikTok, or whatever the case may be, because, you know what I'm saying, don't go in there with selfish intents. Just go off in there with mindful and careness or whatnot. So by that way, you know what I'm saying, it will boost your experience and boost other experience, and you can build your own community and family revolving around that. Or why not? All right, so we're finna get to the real life applications from gaming. I know y'all excited because I'm excited. All right, gamify your daily task. Use apps to turn chores into side quests. So what that means to me, when I use an app, you know what I'm saying, you can use an app to assist you with anything or whatnot, because we're in the day and age of the internet, AI, data. You know what I'm saying, is the biggest thing. So if you can use an app to help you in life, because so we're going to break it down with the games, right? So with gaming, they have accessibilities. They have they got in-game mechanics that will help you You know what I'm saying? Through help you get through a task, like with Borderlands. They have certain weapons that they'll give you from a side quest or whatever the case may be in order to beat a certain type of enemy boss or whatever. But at the same time, if you like that weapon, you're going to take that weapon and you're not going to finish that side quest because you feel like that weapon will assist you to the end game or whatnot. So if you can gamify, your task, your daily task in life, take something from something that you're dealing with or a trade. Keep that with you. Don't turn it back in. Now, okay. Let me clarify. If it's something that's from someone or from the job or for a school, if you have to turn it back in, turn it back in, like, aka the books or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, if you do it the right way, like say for instance, prime example, if you have a book, like I have this book right here, The American Yap. So I have this book right here, right? So if you look at this book, it's been used. So that means that people have purchased this book for a limited time to help them with their daily task or whatever the case may be, right? But they also turned it back into the school because that quest was over with. But me, on the other hand, but they turned it back in to get their money back or whatnot. But me, on the other hand, I'm not done with the side quest. So I choose to keep this book because this book can help somebody else in my family or my friends or somebody I know or whatnot. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm also a book collector, whether if it's anime, history, or just simple mathematics, C plus, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So, and then, you know what I'm saying? Speaking of that, you know, I have a lot of things from side quests that I kept. Organizing ideas. Key points. The key point to drive this home is you're gonna get applied side quests in real life, and if it's something that you can keep it because it may help you later on. Because everybody knows knowledge is key. Knowledge is key. Do them side quests. If you like them side quests, you keep that item from that side quest. And don't you ever stop on that side quest. All right. Moving on. Create achievement badges for personal milestones. Boom. So, damn, I'm getting too excited. I'm shaking stuff. So, personal milestones. So, my personal milestones is every semester, right? Keep my grades above at least an A or whatnot. That is my personal milestone because for the simple fact is once you have a personal milestone set and you can knock it out or whatever, you know what I'm saying, you will be better off. Excuse me. You will be better off if you actually achieve that personal milestone. And then once you achieve that milestone, you can also reward yourself. Like with me, right? I reward myself whenever I feel like I reached a personal milestone. I go buy me something that I like. This is plastic. This is a plastic sword. This is not real. But I do have real swords or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Just you know, yes, you can go buy anything you want if you have the money, whatever the case may be. But if you set that to where, if you know what I'm saying, you're rewarding yourself. That's why I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, create badges for yourself. Because if you create that badge for yourself, this shows that, you know what I'm saying, you accomplished a mini goal in life. Accomplished a mini goal in life. So by that way, you know what I'm saying, you can stand out like Brawley. Stand up like Brawley and be like, yeah, I did that with my chest stuck out. And this is your accomplishment. I purchased this for me because I passed calculus. And I know people, calculus, I haven't did math in years. in years. But I passed calculus and boom, I got broccoli. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, I could have went and bought that anytime I wanted to, but that's just a tactic that I'm using for myself. You know what I'm saying? Just like I say, create badges for yourself no matter what it is once you accomplish a goal in your life. So by that way you can keep, you know what I'm saying, elevating higher. Even when you accomplish that many tasks, set another many tasks. Set another goal. Do what you have to do for yourself. Maybe you can enlighten other people. Because once other people start seeing that you're creating that, people will follow suit or whatever. All right. So track progress like XP. Visualize growth in areas like fitness, learning, or parenting. So all three of these is in my realm. I work out. I just hit the gym earlier today. Yes. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Bicep King, Bicep Maximus, or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Also with the learning and parenting. You know what I'm saying? And if one of them fall, pick it up with the other one. Or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? But you have to track the extra points, the extra experience that you're getting. Prime example, I was in the sauna. The other day. Yesterday, matter of fact. And you know what I'm saying? I feel like I was that I wasn't retaining a lot of the information when it came to the logic design and the probability models and whatnot. So, I was sitting in the sauna with two other guys or whatever the case may be. So they were asking me, hey, what you got going on? What do you do? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I like your beard. So I told them I was a streamer. And, so I told them I had a little podcast where, I talk about elevating your gaming mentality towards health in real life or whatever the case may be. And so, I told him, I said, yeah, I go to UNT, University of North Texas. And I got to talking about my issues I was having with the class. But when I got to talking about it, I started realizing I'm actually learning a whole lot. I'm actually learning this stuff because I'm able to elaborate and break it down to other people to where they can understand. Because one of the guys, he was like, Dad, you sound like a mathematician. Is that your job? I said, no, I'm not a mathematician. I am a student. But my main gripe was she took away the notes. She took away all the notes, all the computers, all the phones or whatnot. You just have to go out for bare muscle memory. And it's crazy because I have test stress syndrome. I just made it up. But when I take a test, which it's actually a real name, this is just a name. When I actually take a test, my mind goes blank. But I was able to spit out all the rhetoric to those guys, and they were like, that makes sense. Or whatnot. Cause when you're dealing with 0 1s and 1001, and you got abstraction properties, and you got distributive properties, stuff like that, people start getting a little lost or whatever the case may be. But I was surprised at myself because I was actually regurgitating everything that the lady was teaching at that point, but I couldn't perform it on a test or whatnot. And I just think that's crazy. But that just comes further into the learning. I actually learned, and now if she asked about those same things that was on the test, I will be able to perform and put it out there, or whatever the case may be. But that right there is something, to me, I feel like that's something good within myself, or whatever the case may be. As far as fitness or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? It's up to you to have that mental state to say, hey, I want to go work out. Because at the end of the day, in which I was taught this while I was in the army, and I had this bodybuilder type dude that was in the military or whatever, so I always got linked up to them guys for some reason, or they'll see me in the gym, or they see me doing PT, and they always linked up. But for what I will say, when I was a specialist at my first duty station, I ran across this dude named Sergeant First Class Johnson. He told me straight up, big black dude, you know what I'm saying? Because he was so massive that he had to start running to lose it or whatnot. He said, remember, always pay your body rent. And what paying your body rent means is like you pay your apartment complex, your house, or whatever, rent every month to live there. This is your body. You live here permanently. So treat your house, your apartment, or whatever you live in, you know what I'm saying? Treat it to the utmost T. So by that way, if you don't pay rent, you're going to lose your house. So if you transfer that to your body, if you don't pay rent to your body, aka work out, eat right, or whatever, make better choices with things, try to get enough sleep or whatever the case may be. You're paying rent to your shell, to your existence. So keep that in mind. In parenting can be very, very challenging, and it depends on your mental mind state, and it depends on your circle, the people that's around you, or whatever the case may be. I have no problem with being a dad, a father to my kids at all, because you know what I'm saying, I'm going to do what I have to do. Does it get tiring? Yes, of course it gets tiring. I don't want to wake up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning to take Maya to school, but I do that. But then also, that also eliminates me from waking up late. Say, for instance, I got class at 4, right? It's an hour and 20-minute drive. I take Maya to school. She had to be at school at 7 o'clock. So I have to get up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, or whatever the case may be. I take her to school. I can go to the gym and start my day or whatnot. Now, on the days that I have to be at school at 8:30, that's benefiting me because I have to wake up anyway. So it's like forçation. You forcing yourself to do something that you wouldn't normally do. So I'm forcing myself to get up, take her to school, then I go to school myself. That's how that works. But parenting, it's whatever you get from parenting or whatnot. It's always about that child and how you mold that child to be unleashed to the world with other adults or whatever, right? So, design your own game or mode. Explore storytelling. Like right now, I'm doing a little bit of storytelling or whatnot, and I gave a little bit of coding. It's to me, what this is to me. And if you put it in gaming terms, everybody is the main character. Because if you looking through a first person lens, just like I'm looking through a first person lens, like I'm looking at you and you looking at me or whatnot, you have everything outwards. You are the main character in your universe. In your universe. Do not care about being a side character in somebody else's world, because realistically, if we put it in games, everybody is the main character. Anybody that's beside you, whether it's your mother, your father, your siblings, your spouse, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? If you can see them full body, they are side characters in your story because it's your story. So design your own world to where, you know what I'm saying, you are the main character and you setting yourself up to be successful. All right. And so if you use character creation as a self-reflection tool, explore, identify values and aspirations, you literally will, you know what I'm saying, succeed. Because character creation, everybody know nowadays we just don't have where they have automated custom skins or custom body fractures for you. You can literally go in, you can tighten up the cheekbones, you can get a little bit more mass, definition in your muscles, you can make yourself big, you can make yourself skinny, you can do all that. And you know, this is a true thing because a lot of people have used character creation to scope what they want to be, how they want to look. And half of the time, a lot of people have done that on games and they strive to work out for that. or whatever the case may be. So I feel like that's a good thing. That was a good tool right there. If you feel like you need to pay rent to your body, or if you feel like you're doing something to yourself that your body don't like, you know what I'm saying, you do the character creation, that will benefit you, that will help you. So just keep that in mind. That'll help you out. So we're finna get down to the last few ones. Support mental health themed games. So I would say this. Some mental health games a lot of people do need to play. Like The Last of Us. The Last of Us, yes, it's a survival horror zombie game, but it's also dealing with mental health. And if you look at it that way, you will see all the pains, the traumas that a lot of characters, mostly Ellie, went through or whatnot. Because everybody loved Ellie. A lot of people don't love Abby. We lost Joel already. But you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that you can capture from those games. It's pretty much what it says is try to be a little bit more emotional. We can't just be hard the whole time. Pause. Because I know some people going to be like, oh, he said hard. Ha, ha, shut up. But it's just a lot of things that people need to realize, that you can't be hard your entire life. You have to bring it down. You have to be self-aware. You have to be supportive of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Your mental health really bases your emotional tact, or whatever the case may be, because you can't. It's a lot of things, like I say, it's a lot of things in life that we shouldn't even think about doing, but we do it because we're not mentally there. We need to try to be mentally there. And you know, that could be being mentally aware about things can work out in your favor in a whole lot of ways that, you know what I'm saying, you don't think of, like being self-aware about the situation that's going on around you or whatever case. It's not just about, you know what I'm saying, feelings. It's about the world that's around you. Because like I say, you are the main character. You need to be aware of everything that's going on. All right. So moving on to the last one. Reflect on your gaming habits weekly. What's helping? What's hurting? What needs to adjust? So I say with that, for me, I kind of slowed down with streaming every day. I kind of slowed down putting out content every day due to the fact I do have assignments and homework that I need to tackle and focus on, because I don't like being behind. So if y'all notice, well, I ain't gonna say if y'all notice, because y'all really don't know, other than the people that actually know me in real life, that I would do everything that I have to do or whatnot, you know what I'm saying, as far as like homework, doing parenting, working out, or whatever the case may be. I will not stream or make any content because of the simple fact I need to tackle those things to ensure that, you know what I'm saying, I do what I need to do in life so I can actually prepare to do other stuff. You know what I mean? So just reflect on that. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that gaming is a bad thing or whatnot, but if you put gaming on the front burner, if you're not getting paid for it, millions and millions of dollars, not million, without hundreds of thousands, $1,000,000, and this is not your career, not your job or whatnot, focus on a bigger task that will help you continue to play the game. That's the deal. I'm trying to help you continue to play the game, but knock out the other stuff in your life. So, I appreciate everybody being up in here with your boy, man. And we going to keep this thing going. And hopefully, we can just keep on rocking and we can expand, bring different topics or whatnot. So remember, you are the main character in this life that you have. Everybody else is a side character. But just don't get crazy out there. But until next time, this is bonthagreat signing out.